What's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships Live Talk. This is your boy M3, and I have a lovely guest. She is one of the most lovely international folks that we have known, and I'd like to introduce you guys to Syeda.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining the platform, Syeda, and allowing me to give you this interview. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. I
I,
see some people in the chat already. I think
I know.
critical drinking is Rashan, right?
Yeah, it's Arshawn.
It always confuses me. Yeah.
Yeah, shout outs to like Apex, Tristan, Alpha Simp, pineapples. Okay, more
Pineapple.
pineapples. Shout outs to Arshawn from Critically Drinking. He says, cheers to a great conversation. You got this, you got this. I think that's the little emojis. And then pineapples with golden hearts and more pineapples. Don't forget, everybody, to get the likes up. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Only subscribers will be able to comment. And then we also have She Stole My Thunder, Canadian's finest. Hello, everyone, she says. And always hello back to you, my sister. Thank you for always tuning in. Make sure that you get the likes up as well. But I'm for sure you already done that, right? So,
Was that Thundercats?
the little dun 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 part. I think so because it is the '80s version of. Okay, like the modern one is like this, like the suspense. But this is the '80s version. So I guess it does sound like Thundercats, to be honest with you.
It sounded like, but I'm not quite sure now that I heard it again. I'm just a
Yeah.
huge fan. That's why I'm saying.
Oh, okay. We're gonna be okay. Cause my wife, she's a huge fan of like Thundercats, and I've been watching it like when I was a kid too. But you know, when you haven't watched it for so long, you just kind of forget like all the episodes. But
Yeah.
Thundercats was definitely like a good show, and also He Man as well too, though.
Master of the Universe. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, okay. So I see you're a cartoon person. We're gonna be, let me write that in my questionnaire. Put that in my notes. Okay. Saida
Not
loves
really.
cartoon. Not
Not
really.
really.
Not really.
No, it's
No.
the only
Okay.
cartoon I used to watch, like that I used to look forward to, like turn the TV on because it was coming up.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch much TV.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that too later on. Okay. She don't watch TV as much. Nah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. White hearts, more pineapples. And then we have real talk with Mimsy Limbs. She says, "Bada bing, that like button, y'all." That's right. Always make sure you hit the like button. All right, Saida. Let's go ahead and we're gonna jump into question number one. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick for you. All right. Let's see. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Bam. Okay. So question number one is, I did it real quick. Tell us about yourself. I mean, that's a fairly
Like
simple question.
yeah, I was like, it feels like a job interview.
Oh no, see, nah. We got to see. That means
Tell
I'm
me
not
about
doing my job.
yourself. That's fine, don't worry. I understand. Well, I am from El Salvador. I am 35 years old. My name is Saira, and I
Hmm.
am a proud mother of a 9-year-old daughter. And I was raised in. I've also lived in El Salvador, born and raised in El Salvador,
Okay.
my entire life. That's a little bit about me. I am a facilitator. I work in front of people and train pretty much people. That's what I do for a living.
Okay.
I enjoy connecting with people and learning from them, talking to people as well. That's something that I definitely enjoy. And
Hmm.
I'm a very active person. I like outdoor activities mostly. So yeah,
Okay.
that, that for
Oh.
now.
Okay, okay. What made you get into that type of field? Become like a facilitator and just talking to like numerous people. And then
Hmm.
I know you said you train them as well too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that my career was oriented to teaching.
Okay.
So I should be an English teacher, but I'm not. I teach. That's what I do for a living. I'm teaching people on a daily basis,
Mm.
but it's not, specific subject. It's more like other stuff. I am a customer service oriented and sales expert, so I will be teaching people to assist customers or to do sales,
Oh,
perform sales. Hmm.
okay. Well, hey, well that's what's up. They say that people who are into sales, they pretty much train themselves to be more confident, like when it comes to like social interactions, like outside of like the work life.
Yeah,
And I feel like when it comes to like dating relationships, I feel like the man usually have to try to sell himself, not like you selling your soul or anything, but it's like you're trying to sell like the best presentation that you have to offer for that woman. Well, that's how it was back in my times growing up. Unfortunately, now these days, I don't think men really approach as much anymore. Everyone just all into the, I don't know, phone apps or whatever. So
I agree. Like first impression matters definitely, and this is like as a salesperson, the first impression, is what's gonna get you. Do you like the salesperson? First off, right?
yeah.
That's the first question that you ask yourself. Um, but what happened when I transitioned to this? I honestly just, I enjoy it. I enjoy like teaching people. And since that's what I'm doing, I started just with customer service basics, but little by little, I was, gaining more knowledge about sales. And
Hmm.
yes, you get confident within time. I am, but I have to say, I'm the most shyest person, or the shyest and confident at the same time. I'm the most shyest and confident person you will ever meet in your life because I am very shy, very shy. But
Then yeah,
when I'm in
okay.
front of people, it doesn't show. It's kind of like
Mm.
I don't even know, like I don't want to say defensive mode, but it's just
Go
it comes
down.
with it.
Yeah. Daryl Long says, "Love a beautiful, smart woman." Shout out to you, Daryl Long.
Thank you.
Thanks for the compliment to Saida.
Thank
Well,
you.
I maybe it's like first time approaching anxiety, you know, but then after when you get into the conversation, then everything else just kind of falls in place.
I think
That's
it's
why.
about feeling comfortable with the person. I am not a person that is going to, feel comfortable with just anyone. It's kind of like being an introvert, but you're an extrovert with the right people, with the people that you really feel comfortable with. Because
Yeah.
some people will have me as reserved and very private and distant, but some people will have me like the cuckoo,
Okay.
life of the party. So it depends on who I'm with. So
All right. Well, that's what's up. Hey, hopefully I get a chance to see both sides of it. The reserve and the cuckoo one.
yeah.
All right.
The more time I spend with someone is like I start feeling like okay, I can
Exactly.
lose
Yeah.
myself a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's human nature. When you first meet somebody, you're not gonna just be like, cuckoo right away. You're gonna just kind of reserve that cuckoo-ness for later until you're like, oh, okay, like he could put up with that, so I could show off, my crazy and all. But nah, you good though.
Yep. Hmm.
All right. So I do want to jump into the hobbies because I know you say like outdoor stuff, but I'm going to save that for the number three question after I jump into number two. Number two is what has been your journey in social media? Meaning like, what brought you here?
That's funny. I literally just how did it happen? How did it start? Okay, so I posted a comment in one of the Kevin Samuels
Mhm.
videos, and that comment had a lot of likes and comments back, like replies from people. So people really liked what I said on that comment or posted. And then AR from Womenosphere approached me. You know, he kind of invited me to his channel. I've never done that before. Never crossed my mind ever. Never,
Yeah.
not even one time. I've never. I wasn't even in a live, you know, for IG or Facebook. Never done that.
Never. Okay.
Um, yeah. So I was, you know, pretty much invited by him, and I really enjoy talking to the people on his panel, learning from them, and you know, hearing the different stuff that they have to share. Also understanding more of their culture in a way.
Hmm.
And then obviously, you know, you guys follow each other, and we're kind of supporting all the people that is supporting him, and vice versa. So that's how I ended up here.
Okay. Lovely. Before I reply, I gotta give a shout outs to Kay Marion. She says, "Welcome, Syeda, Womansphere." And there's emojis again. LL. Uh, they say that introverts enjoy being the center of attention, but only for their favorite people. Virtual hug. And then shout outs to the rookie Marcus. He says, shout outs to Daryl Long, uh, Arshawn, myself or whatever, quickly drinking. Shout outs to the panel and saludos. All right. Thank you so much, Marcus. And K Marin's giving you like the happy faces and the flowers as well. And he says, mucho gusto, saludos, Saida.
Oh, you're good with Spanish. You read Spanish very well. Because
Uh,
you pronounce it well, what he texts. So, un gusto,
uh,
Marcos.
Thank you. I think for like what 20 no, actually for 300, it has been 301 days of consistent like learning using like Duolingo. So look,
Mm.
I'm not a here's the thing, I'm not an expert. Like I'm good as far as reading, but as far as speaking, and if somebody was to speak Spanish to me, especially really fast, like I'm really slow at getting it. And I'm still learning like new words and all. So plus I don't have like a Spanish teacher yet. So but no, but Saida, you might be my Spanish teacher one of these days. Like, if I, get some more money and pay you off this YouTube money, if I can.
Claro que sí,
Right?
claro que sí. Nobody's paying me on YouTube. Wait. Sí, claro, yo te puedo enseñar. Yo voy a ser tu maestra. Yes, I said I'm going to be your teacher.
I appreciate that. See, like I said, I haven't got to that level yet, but if you type it in, I'll be like, oh, okay, all right, I got you though. All right, I do have some other questions before I get to like the main ones. So I know you're from El Salvador, and so if you don't mind if I ask, like, because I never been there before. I have been to certain parts of Mexico. Tijuana, Mexico was the first time. We actually drove from our place to Tijuana after passing San Diego, and then we stayed there for just like a couple of hours, and then after that, I feel like I almost got stuck over there for some reason. Well, no, we're actually stuck in traffic. But
I heard Tijuana is pretty much like the US.
it feels like the same, you know. I was expecting for it to be a little bit more different, but then, however, I went to Cabo San Lucas, and that was like a year later, like this year. Funny thing is that it seemed like my two trips to Mexico fell pretty much in February. This year, my cousin got married, and then last year we went there in February, with just to just kind of go out the country, So, but Cabo San Lucas, like man, it was good. Like the food was great. Like I felt like I could like just eat like the gelato, like what else? The fruits, the vegetables, the meats, without like feeling bloated. I felt like the food out there was a lot more cleaner than Americans' food. You know, that's just my opinion to it. But I did had a great experience over there. So, and Mark says Tijuana is literally like 10 minutes from San Diego, and you're gonna have to read this for me. Let's see, Pearl, like marinas.
Pura is it's just Marines and their families visit there.
Okay,
uh,
okay.
U.S. Marines. Mhm.
Oh, nice, nice. But yeah, I was gonna ask, like, like how is like life in El Salvador?
Mm, I would say we have a bad reputation. It's a country that has bad reputation. Mm, and I'm not gonna say life is not difficult because I wouldn't be speaking. I would only be speaking for myself, and I cannot do that. For when I know that people out there is not living the way I'm living. Um,
Okay.
so I think it's very similar to the US. I've heard a lot of things that happen in the US same way that happens here. The only difference is that since the country is small, obviously the numbers that reflect is more impactful because it's a smaller population. But same things that happen in the US we have here. I would
Mm-hmm.
say it depends on what area you go. Definitely you don't want to go to areas that you don't know with the people that you don't know. But I think this will
Yeah.
be anywhere in the world. Something could
Mm-hmm.
happen, and we have probably in the last few years, we have a more tourism. So the tourism definitely has increased a lot more, and we
Mm-hmm.
have recently became the number one country to make Bitcoin a legal currency here. So
Oh, okay.
because of that reason, we have more tourism now because people want to know, how it works. They're curious,
Mm-hmm.
and also, I don't support many of the things that the president does, but in a way, there's also good things that is happening
Yeah.
right now. Literally, they're cleaning the country, and I wouldn't want to speak a lot about that because I don't know. It's a very sensitive topic, but it's related to gang members. So they're literally cleaning every single corner of this country. I
Mm.
don't know what's going to happen after that because there's rumors that some innocent people are also being taken or confused because they are tatted up.
Oh
So
man.
apparently, someone is saying, "Oh, just because you have tattoos, they're taking you." But in reality, I also heard from people that I know that also have tattoos that said, "Hey, if you have tattoos, but you're not related to none of this stuff, you don't have to worry about, don't resist to the police. Just let them, they want to, come into your house and check your documents and ask where you work,
Mm-hmm.
answer their questions. Do not resist because you don't, you're not doing anything wrong." And that makes sense. That makes sense because if you're,
Right.
like resisting yourself is for a reason, right? Like, oh, I don't want them to know something. So, I heard both sides of the stories. I personally don't know no one uh, that has gone through this stuff. But again, I hope that everything is for good and in the improvement of this country. We have very, very beautiful stuff. There is a theory that you could go from the city to the mountain to the beach to the lake, everything in one day. You could do everything in one day. It will be tiring though, but you could see pretty much a little bit of everything in one day in El Salvador.
Hey,
We have
that's all right.
volcanoes, lakes, beach,
Oh, the
everything.
forgiveness, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down for
So
that.
you're welcome. And I heard from people that it is cheap. So some people say or consider that some stuff are cheap. So
Hmm. Okay, okay. I mean, look. Well, actually, have you ever been to the U.S. before?
no, I've never been to the US. No.
Okay. Well, look. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be gangs in every city, every country and state. I mean, and there's going to be like good areas. It just
Yeah.
knowing like your surroundings, knowing how to conduct and carry yourself, and just make sure that you stay protected at all costs. So let me see, KR retreat in El Salvador. Hey, I would be like one of the first people to go out there. I'm not afraid of that. So, all right, all right. Thank you for sharing that. And when it comes like to the volcanoes, like I never really been close to a volcano. I think probably no, actually I'll take that back. When I was in oh, it's not Gary, it's Oregon, because Oregon they have like volcanoes out there. So, but I haven't really got close to it. All right. Before I begin, I wanna
Mhm.
um I wanna introduce to um the network manager, Mr. Best in the World 84. So, Mr. Best.
I need to see
Hey,
that
Premier.
face.
What happened? What she just said?
I need to see
No,
the
no,
face.
no, no, no one's
Wow!
allowed to see the
Oh my
face.
gosh! Oh my gosh!
I
How
always
she?
confuse both of you. That's the thing. I always confuse both of you.
Are you really serious? You really confused both of us for real?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know who's texting me. Like when, because both of you have sent me the invite and different timing. So it happened that
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, who is who? And then I'm looking at your image on your profile, but I'm thinking of his face. So and then
Okay,
I'm like, wait a minute. So that's why I'm saying.
it's fine. I mean, hey, we are on the same team. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I mean, I'm glad to be here. Glad that you're here too, Saida. Um, I don't know if that's a preferred beverage you're drinking on or if that's juice, but whatever it is, hopefully
It's
you're
just a
enjoying it.
sparkling water.
Oh, sparkling water.
Sparkling
Okay,
water.
perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
I don't do sugar, so
Oh, okay, okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Sean Dave in the chat. I see Kate Marion, Mimsy Limbs. What's going on? Von Eric. Hey, Marcus, I see you too. What's going on, everybody in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
man? Oh, yeah, Tristan Draper. I see you too, man. I see you, man. M3, what's
Yeah,
going on?
Daryl's
Let's
on
get it,
here.
man.
That was
Oh,
Mr.
what's going
Best in
on,
the World.
Daryl Long? What's good, man?
Yeah. Um. Oh, okay. So let me get to the number three question. All right. So Saida, now I know you like the outdoor activities. What are like your interests and other hobbies that you have?
um interest, I would say, like I said, outdoor activities, everything that is,
Mm,
like to go out and do something fun.
yeah.
uh Hikes, camping,
Okay.
beach, stuff like that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Spending time with my friends. I do enjoy playing ping pong a lot. I used to play
Okay.
soccer when I was younger, but now I broke both of my ankles, so I am
Oh,
more
sweet.
afraid to do it now. So every time I like, if I try, I can run and I can grab the ball and I can kick it, but
Yeah.
like play, like in reality, I
Uh-huh.
do it, but I'm like afraid to do it. Like I'm not confident when I'm doing it now because I'm conscious that one bad movement I can, break my, because it's weak. They are weak.
Yeah.
So yep.
Are you good at dribbling the soccer ball too with your feet?
Uh I used to do it. I haven't done it in a long time, to be honest. I don't even know if I can still do it. That's a good question.
I mean,
Um,
it's all in the
it's
muscle
been
memory.
it's been over more than 15 years now.
Salute to
More than
Mr.
15
Rucker.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, prenup first, always. Right.
I
Okay.
think
Okay.
I'm a fast learner. I'm a fast learner because I didn't know anything about basketball and I learned how to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I didn't know anything about ping pong, and then I learned and I loved it. I really
Yeah.
enjoy it. Yeah,
Have you
I'm
ever
planning to
played
go back.
tennis? You plan to go back to it?
No, no, I've never played tennis, but it's very similar to ping pong. It's just slower,
Yeah.
but you're kind of like you need to move, in a
Mm-hmm.
bigger space. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe one of these days when I fly out to Salvador, I'll make sure I try to bring my rackets with me too.
Oh
Teach you a
yeah,
couple of
sure.
games. But then, then again, you might reverse that on me because you got the ping pong skills. So, people who play good at ping pong, they're gonna be good naturally at tennis too, though. So, you might be serving me up.
I just think that pong is more like uh fast. It's fast, really fast. There was
Yeah.
one time I was so addicted to
Oh,
it. I was at work because we used to have a ping pong table,
Mm-hmm.
and I will play for lunch instead of eating. I will go play.
Oh.
It was so bad how I was into it that I would rather play than eat. It was crazy.
Hey,
mm.
hey, but that's nothing wrong with that. You just eat later. Save a couple of
Yeah, that's what I
calories.
used to do. I used to do that. I used to, okay, I'm gonna eat for, my break, or or I will eat before. But that will give me like a little bit,
Yeah,
But yeah.
I
Mhm.
get you though. All right. Well, now I know you say you don't really, consume like asuka, like sugar. Um, well, I know, like personally, I know you're doing like the keto thing, right? Are you still doing
Mhm.
it? How long you
I'm
been?
trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. I mean, when I don't want to say that I am 100% doing it,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I'm on and off. But if I am out of it, it's not like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend days. For
Mm-hmm.
example, this last weekend I was out, enjoying some time off, and it's very hard to be outside asking for drinks that don't have any sugar. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was in an all-inclusive resort, so it's kind of like whatever they
Yeah,
have.
sounds.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of have to like, but what I do is like I just try to control the amount of calories that I'm going to be consuming for the day. Once
Mm-hmm.
you're into it, at least it's to maintain myself. Right now I'm just trying to maintain myself. um and that's what I try to do, as long as I can do it. But once I'm into keto, definitely, if I'm focused, I can stay. I've been probably doing it since 2019. Since
Oh, okay.
2019, yeah. But then I had a surgery. I had a surgery back in September, an
Mm-hmm.
emergency surgery, and I gained like 15 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds. So then I was like, okay,
Understood.
I have to go back to keto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I know, like it definitely helps. I tried it like the first time back in 2020, but that was at the time like when I wasn't. Well, we was kind of laid. Well, I wouldn't even say laid off. We was just pretty much like just out of work for a minute, but we were still getting paid. So everybody was like staying home during that time. And so since I had like a lot of time to kill, I was like, let me just kind of get my health back in order and try to figure out what would be best for me. And the good thing was I was teaming up with this health company, and I'll shut the name out. It was RX, but the crew like introduced me to the keto lifestyle, and so when I got into it and I tried it for like the first week, I'll say like the first 2 days, right? I was feeling sluggish, I was feeling tired, but then after that, it was pretty much like cool. And I did that consistently for like at least like 2 months. First month, I lost like 21
15 pounds.
pounds,
Oh,
50
that's a
pounds for
lot.
you?
No, no, no. I'm just basing myself on average, how much people lose weight. But for men,
Yeah.
it's usually more. Men tend to lose weight faster than women. Men sleep and they're losing weight. Yeah, I
Uh,
hate them. But anyway, just kidding.
don't hate the player, hate the game right now. Um, but yeah, yeah. So like 21 pounds, and then then 50 pounds altogether. So I was like from 220 or 30 something down to like 170, almost to like, trying to get down to like 165 ish. But then like once like we, went back to work and, you start hanging around with like your coworkers and partying, like you pretty much like kind of gain like, most of the weight back, but just not all of it. Um, One of these days I probably will go back, but not full time keto. I'll just kind of do it like partially, like whenever it's needed.
It's called low carb. If you're not fully keto, because keto
Yeah.
requires to stay in like a certain amount of carbs, 20 grams
Yeah.
carbs daily maximum, and for men it could be 30. Um, but if you're
Yeah.
not specifically on keto, you could still do low carb. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, it's easier than what people think. It Once you are on it, you're looking at the results, so it becomes easier. Because the way I put it
Hmm.
is like if you're losing 2.5 pounds in 1 week,
Hmm.
imagine how much is that going to be in a month. That's probably 10 pounds. And
Yeah.
in 2 months, it's going to be 20 pounds. And 2 months
Mhm.
is not a long time, to lose 20 pounds. And then obviously it requires for you to be consistent and a lot of
Mhm.
effort, right? And meal prepping, be conscious of what you're eating, the stuff that you're eating. But it
Mhm.
requires a lot of effort, pretty much, a lot of effort.
Yeah,
But
definitely
yeah.
so. Okay. Mr. Best, do you have any questions you want to ask Saida?
No, no, we're doing well so far. You know what I'm saying? So we can keep going. You know.
Okay, okay. Well, one thing I forgot to ask about in the number two question about the social media journey is do you have any plans to start like your own channel? Could be YouTube or Twitch or anything like that.
I don't even know what Twitch is. No, I really never thought about it. People have told me and asked me those questions. I really don't know. I think I admire the work, believe it or not. I know that it requires time, and
Mhm.
like any other type of activity that you do, you have to dedicate time to it. I don't know if I will have the time to do it. I am a mother.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
also my daughter is like, she's very interested in doing things like this, so she would love to do something with me and I would love to do it with her, but I wouldn't want to
Hmm.
expose her. So it's
I
complicated.
get.
I would have to really think about it, and then like, not just that, I wouldn't just create content, like, if it's not to help people, like it's something that is helpful for others, like learning to
Hmm.
use the resources that you have to learn is something, teaching is an art. I am a teacher, so that's what I want to
Yeah.
do, teach people something, or at least learn from people as well, because teaching and being a teacher is not just showing others or teaching, but also learning from them. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I will think about it, but for now, no.
Okay. Well, the good thing about social media is that you're your own boss and you can always go things at your own pace. So there's
Yeah.
never no rush. And hey, maybe um 10 years from now, like as your daughter grows up, then the mother and daughter could start their own YouTube channels, and you know we'll see how it goes. But
Okay. Roshan has a
all right.
question there.
Okay, Arshawn says, okay, I have a question. How did she find Kevin Samuels in the Facebook group? What does she think of Kevin Samuels' message on dating?
How did I found Kevin Samuels?
That is a good question, though.
I don't even remember how that happened, but I guess probably watched a video and took me to his profile, and then I started following and joining his lives or on IG.
Hmm.
Um, I will not do it, like every time or the entire time, but definitely, um, that's how it happened. How did I found the Facebook group? I don't know what Facebook group he's talking about. If it's ARs, then it's through AR, and that's how AR found me, because I posted something on his channel. I mean, on Kevin
Kevin
Samuel's
Samuels channel.
video.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and what I think about Kevin Samuels, hmm. I have, like, every single time I join the panels, I hear the contradictions, and I have this like right here, and like I can't avoid it because I'm looking at the contradiction. For example, there is one video, reaction video, that we did with AR, where he's telling this girl, she's a very beautiful woman,
Hmm.
and he's doing an interview with her, telling her that a woman cannot be smart, educated, and a good wife at the same time. And I'm like, wait a minute, so you can
Huh?
have a good wife, but she has to be stupid? I was like, wait a minute. And then in my language, in Spanish, being educated means that you have
Hmm.
been not educated like professionally educated, but you can be educated at home. Like, you can know about things. You don't have to go to university to know stuff. So you kind of like smart person in a way. Like you just want to know by reading books. She's a housewife, and she likes to read
Mm-hmm.
books, and she will know a lot of information because she's reading. She doesn't have
Yeah.
to go to university. So that's an educated person, because it's part of learning. Something is part of education. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
way I see it. So to me, it was like, is this serious
That's
what
all.
he's saying right now? And then, like, would you, as a man, want to have a wife that is home and she has to make a decision, like an emergency or something, and she has to wait for you to get home to make a decision because she's so stupid that she cannot make a decision on her own? Like, is that the type of wife that is always depending on her husband to make a decision? And then he's gonna be
Yeah.
complaining that you cannot do anything on yourself. Like, those contradictions don't make any sense in my
Mm.
head. um and then when he's like, oh, a woman should be concentrated on looking for men or finding a man, and I'm like, so she graduates from high school, because since she's not supposed to be educated, then she's not supposed to go to college or have some college, and then she's going to have a regular job, and then she cannot
Mm-hmm.
aspire for having well pay, because since if you want to move up in a company, you kind of have to have some knowledge or at least skills to get paid better.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's what they want, to have women like, I don't know, it seems very caveman. Some of the stuff that he says, I have to say, when it comes to part
1940-ish.
of
Mm-hmm.
respecting a man, like letting the man lead and things like that, I agree. I was raised by my dad, and I wasn't with my mother. I mean, I used to visit her, but I wasn't with my mom. So I am
Okay.
very used to listening to a man and following a man, and to
Mm-hmm.
me that's normal. So it's kind of like natural. Then I used to spend a lot of time with my grandpa, and the man that he's describing as leaders and good men, if I compare it with my grandpa, they're not even close to the men that he's talking about. And my grandparents were have been married. Well, my grandpa passed away, but that was a successful marriage until death
Yeah.
took them apart. So
Mm-hmm.
no, little things like that. That's what some of this stuff that comes to my head right now about it. I don't fully agree everything, but when it comes to the disrespect and some of the females that join, his platform are
Yeah.
like, are you serious? Like, are you actually saying that? I, something basic, and probably I might, get in trouble with your culture. I hope I'm not, but
Nah, go
calling
ahead.
your man or your husband bro and the N word, that's disrespectful to me. I wouldn't be able to call my man bro. I mean, you're my man. Why you're not my
Yeah.
brother? So I don't know, little things like that. That to me is like kind of no.
Yeah. My
So
own wife don't even call me bro. So I'm
no,
like, I kind of feel like, and you're definitely right with the contradictions, because I also kind of feel sometimes, on the manosphere side, uh, let's say for instance, they shame women who go to college, get their degrees, like, oh, I'm a PhD, right? So they poke fun of those type of people, because they say that if a woman is highly educated, she's gonna have a hard time finding a man, only because her ego is gonna be up through the roof. Now, as some cases,
I don't. Sorry,
oh, good,
I don't
good.
think is the woman's ego. The problem is the man's ego.
Hold on, hold
Is
on.
the man's ego.
I won't get to that too, though, right? But I'm just saying, like, from what I hear, like, about the women's side, because what they'll say is, like, the woman is going to be controlling, or she's going to have high expectations because she want a man that she could look up to. She has a PhD, and this guy, like, is making, she's making probably like, 6 or 7 figures. The guy's probably making like 5 figures. So they always going to put that pressure that, well, and I know the intent. They want men to be better than what they are today. I get that. I could take the good from that part. But when you start kind of shaming the men as well too, and start saying, well, this is what they prefer, and if you make less than that, then don't expect to get this high caliber type of woman because she's not going to respect you because of your finances. And yes, it is, the man's ego because, you know, men can be very insecure, just like women could be insecure. And when you're constantly hearing this from your peers and social media, especially Kevin Samuels, you look up to him, and he's telling you these things like this is what a high value man supposed to be making, and this is the status of what makes you who you are. Um, they're not going to feel like they're worthy. So, I mean, I don't really care if my wife makes more than me or whatever. I mean, the money's going to go to us no matter what. It's just how we both use it. But I guess if you're in a unstable relationship where it's like your money is yours and her money is hers, then I could kind of see where like the rift can be at. But then again, on the other side, if because then they start complaining like, well, this women will be stuck up. But then when a woman's dating a man who's making less than her, then they were like, oh, she's dating like a dusty man, a broke man or whatever. She could do better. So I don't know. It just I just try not to feed into that.
Let me speak to this real quick, family.
Go ahead.
I think that I think that with the whole Kevin Samuels thing, I think that people just take him not take him too seriously. But I just want to say this to most people: he's not speaking to you. He's speaking to a certain audience. He's speaking to a certain demographic. And if you're not a high value man making over a certain amount of money, or a high value woman, and you don't fit in a certain criteria that he has described himself, you know what I'm saying, that people want to follow for some reason,
Hmm.
then you know what? Guess what? He's not talking to you. So, you know what I mean? If you're not over 6 feet and you don't do this and you don't go to the gym this many hours, guess what, fellas? He's not talking to you. Women, if you don't look a certain way, if you don't have a certain dress size, then guess what? He's not talking to you. I think that we got to stop taking Kevin Samuels. Oh, cool background music. All right. We got to stop taking Kevin Samuels so seriously and literally. You know what I mean? Because he's not talking to most of us.
Hmm.
Majority of people I know on YouTube, he's not talking to. You know what I mean? He's talking to somebody else, but not you. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that you're a bad person or to say that you're a loser or whatever, but to be honest, he's not. He's just not talking to some of us. You know what I mean? So yeah, BZ's right. It's not a new concept. It's
Hmm.
been around since forever. He just found a market
Absolutely.
for it and made it marketable. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So at the end of the day, it's kind of just what you want to do with it. It's like, you know what I mean? If you feel like you're not a high value man, then hey, then maybe you're not a high value man. If you feel like you are, then maybe you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really up to you. Um, I would say, but I also do feel like we do take certain things too literal or serious. Exactly, BZ. You know what I mean? Too literally or serious when it comes to relationships. I'll just say this. I think as far as like how you greet your partner, or if you speak slang with your partner, or if you call your partner bro, or you guys laugh and joke, whatever, whatever. As long as y'all don't disrespect each other, I don't really care what y'all call each other. You know what I mean? Just be respectful. That's one. Two, I also think that um like when it comes to men being insecure in relationships, I feel like men have insecurities, you know what I'm saying, as far as individual insecurities, but no man should be in a relationship and feel insecure in that relationship. Like if you feel insecure in that relationship, then there are other things that you need to deal with. Because then you're gonna start displaying that towards your partner, you're gonna start displaying that towards the people in your life. And that's not healthy. You know what I mean? Shout out to Gator Girl. What's going on, Gator Girl?
Yes.
Thanks for the donation,
Salute,
girl. Salute
salute
to
to
you.
Gator Girl.
But yeah, so I think that's key. You know what I mean? So I think people just gotta really get off the
Mhm.
whole Kevin Samuels train. He's
Yes,
not talking to
yes,
most of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I
He's really
agree.
probably not talking to any of y'all. And at the end
He's
of the day,
doing this for entertainment. I think he's doing
exactly.
this for entertainment, and people just
Mhm.
following that. And that's the problem because instead of helping his culture or community, he's just making it worse in a way. Yes, he is pointing at things that a lot of people don't probably didn't want to say, or they were there but no one was talking about. Um, because yes, I agree that women can be
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think, and I'm going to say it like this: you as a culture, both men and females have strong personalities. Your presence in a room is like strong for both, and both have
Mm.
egos to the point because your history made you stronger. And the same, if you don't understand your history, your background, where you're coming from, you will understand that that made women stronger as well. And I'm talking about black women. It made them stronger. They have to get out and go and do what they have to do because they couldn't stay home. So, but men are not understanding. Instead of that, they're just pointing at fingers. And what I see is that, and I'm looking at from the outside, okay? I'm just looking at a bigger picture from the outside, looking at people saying, it's your fault. And then you're like, no, it's your fault, instead of like trying to help each other. And that's what's happening in this with this other platform, where he's just doing this and that instead of helping. And sometimes it's like, I don't think it's needed for him to disrespect a woman, to tell her you know what she's doing wrong. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. Yes, I understand that not everybody's the same way, but for example, calling them names like Shirley and things like that, just because they have a certain weight or whatever. Right there, he's judging them by their
Absolutely.
looks. So if
Mhm.
you're judging someone by their looks and you don't expect to be judged by how much you have, it's kind of like, you know, if you're judging someone, then the other person is going to judge you and going to take you for what you have, because you're taking that person for how they look. So that's the way I see it. I don't agree. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with what women do, and most of the time, I actually don't agree with none of the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
For example, if it was in my case, and I've expressed it before, this situation happened to me long time ago, where I was the one working and he was staying home because he simply decided that he didn't want to work no more. And I was like, okay, I cannot, do that. But his mom was helping him. And I was like, okay. So I continued to work. And then he started complaining about, the hair product that I was using. And why do you buy this hair product? And I'm like, because I've always bought this hair product. And I have curly hair, so I have to maintain it. And he's like, but why do you have to buy the most expensive one? And like, why do you have to get it so expensive? And I'm like, he was not working. He was affecting me now,
Mm-hmm.
because he was not working. When I always, and you look at it like, oh, she wants to keep her lifestyle, but he was not doing his part and he wanted to affect me now. And it's not like, oh, he lost his job, because things happen. If something
Yeah.
happens, it happens. And then what you do is just go back and try to get another job. No, he just simply quit because he didn't want to work no more. But then
Mm.
it was very complicated, the situation. But some people would say, oh, that's selfish. But I am explaining from this side and say, no, I was paying for the food in the house. I was still, doing everything. My daughter was going to daycare. I was paying for daycare. The baby was not staying with him in the house, and he was not working.
Yeah.
I still took my daughter to daycare. So if you didn't want her to work, then I could have just
Mm-hmm.
leave the baby with you. But no, I was still doing everything. He just simply didn't want her to work. So women also have to go through those things. And this type of man, and someone said, most people is average. But the problem is that they, because of these platforms, they want to think that they are high value, when the definition of high value is what this person think is a high value. But what I consider high value is something different, because the value that I'm going to give you as a human being is for what I value for. No, for what you have, but who you are, if it makes sense.
Well, everything is subjective as far as like what makes you a high value man. Because you could, well, yeah, because For me, I could be a high value man in my household or around my peers, but I could go to a different type of work environment, and I may no longer be considered as a high value man because people don't know me. So they may look at me as like low value, not worth getting to know. But it's all based off like your values, and the values like from your peers, pretty much.
Yes.
Let's see,
I want to
Beasley,
say
I
hi to
agree.
Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for
Yes, thank
supporting.
you for thank you for tuning in, Melissa, and for subscribing as well too to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. Uh, Definitely get the likes up, everybody, and if you're new,
Definitely.
continue to subscribe. Don't
That's it.
worry, go ahead, Mr. Best.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish your say. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say like, don't worry, like this won't be like the last time you'll see like Syeda. So I'm just letting you guys know. Hopefully so. But yeah, go ahead, Mr. Best.
I was gonna say that what I mean. I think that when it comes to the whole like YouTube space thing, we got to stop giving people so much so much credence or even just so much like willpower over our lives. Like as BZ was saying, like we got to stop worshiping celebrities. Like at the end of the day, I look at people on YouTube just like I look at somebody who's acting on Netflix. I look at them the same way. You know what I mean? I don't take anybody on here seriously because
Yeah.
I've never met anybody on here one on one. So to me, people on here, are just as real as Monopoly money. You know what I mean? So I just don't take them seriously. You know what I mean? Because it's entertainment. You know what I mean? So I think people just gotta look at it as entertainment. You know what I mean? Stop taking Kevin Samuels, stop taking everybody so seriously and literally. And I'm saying that because I think that would allow them to not. It's kind of like when you watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and the reason that Freddy Krueger is even around is because they believe in him, right?
Hmm.
The only reason that somebody like Kevin Samuel is a danger is because y'all believe in this stuff that he's telling you. You actually are taking him seriously as somebody, who's on an entertainment application and platform. YouTube is a sense of entertainment application platform. Can you get things off of YouTube that's beneficial and helpful to your life? Yeah, you can. You know what I mean? If you're looking for certain information, but I wouldn't advise anybody to look to YouTube for any type of relationship advice, period. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't care if it's how to be a good parent. I don't care if it's how to be a good son, to be a good whatever, to find a woman, whatever. I wouldn't advise YouTube for that. Okay, YouTube is a source of entertainment, and people on YouTube are here to do what? Make money. They're not here
Hmm.
to help you. Okay, if you want help, you know what I mean. You can probably find a self help coach who can actually pay. You know what I'm saying? Or you can find you a therapist, psychologist, pastor, motivational speaker, leader, a social activist, anybody that's actually in the field of when it comes to helping people. People on YouTube are not in the field when it comes to helping people. So stop relying on them to help you. The more you rely on them to help you, the more you're gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? And I'm tired of hearing y'all complain about how somebody on YouTube led you astray. Because you ain't supposed to be believing them in the first place. This is not the platform for that. Stop believing in these people. That's why I always say I'm no guru. I'm no relationship expert. I'm none of that. I'm not your pastor. I'm not a social activist. I'm not a political activist. I'm none of that. I'm a guy on YouTube who shares his perspective. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And hopefully I can make you laugh. Hopefully. You know what I mean? You can laugh or smile or whatever. You know what I mean? And if not, and you don't get anything from what I'm saying, then keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking for YouTube for someone to motivate you or teach you about things in life. You know what I'm saying? This is not the avenue for that. You know what I mean? This is the avenue for people to entertain you and to entertain you. And for you to maybe get some valuable information if need be. If you need to learn how to program a new remote that you bought, go on YouTube, look up the make and model of that remote, and you could probably find that on YouTube. Rather than that, that's all it is.
Well, I mean, I do agree to a certain point that YouTube is about entertainment, especially it depends on what you're looking for. But YouTube to me is one of like the best universities that you could ever tune into. It's simple, it's easy. You tune into whatever you need. It's like you ask YouTube, you watch a video of it, and then you just learn how to do it yourself. I learned how to do
True.
so many things. Keto ice
I learned how
cream.
to I learned how to change a freaking doorknob.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
see?
It's good.
YouTube
It's good. It's
University.
good. It's good for information. That's good for like useful things, but it's not good when it comes to you trying to find basic life questions. Like if you're looking
Yes.
for somebody to be a guru for you or something like that, brother, this is not the place. Sister, this is not the place for that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you're looking for that, then you're gonna suffer the consequences of that. Just being honest.
Definitely.
Mm,
Because his
see,
perspective, like
yeah.
growing up poor in one country and poor in
Hmm.
another country is way different. Like, that's something, because it was an interesting question there. Someone said, what I have learned, hold on, what
Is it this
has
one?
learned about, no, it was Russian. Is it Russian or
Oh,
Arshan?
you
I've
talking
always
about.
wondered.
Well,
It,
it's really pronounced Roshan, but we call him Arshan on on YouTube. So
okay. All right.
yeah.
No, it says, can you ask Saida what she learned about people or Americans during her time on YouTube? It's a very complex question, and my things might sound like judgmental, but not really. It's just what I see, and I don't blame people. I think that they have made you like that. I think Americans are consumers. Like, they consume everything. All they want, everything is about money, about money, about money.
Mm-hmm.
And they buy stuff that they don't even use,
Mm-hmm.
and they replace those things, like, iPhone, oh, new version I'm coming up with it, and that creates just a status in your head that you have a newest version for something. Hey, I have an Android. You're gonna judge me for what the phone that I have? I can tell you that's the one that I can afford. So what? That's what I
Yeah.
would say. And you think that you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like looking at me, oh, she doesn't have an iPhone. I'll be like, so to us, it doesn't offend us,
Yeah.
because we know where we are, we know where we're standing, and our reality, and we don't pretend, we don't try to be something that we're not. But I think it's because you have Hollywood and all this stuff that creates a fantasy,
Yep.
Hmm.
and people is just replacing stuff to the point that and right now they got to the point that they are replacing people and not even looking at people for what they really are. They're just like, oh, okay, this is what you can provide, this is what you can give, this is
Hmm.
what you can give me, or this is what I can have from you, or you're gonna make my life easier this way. Hey, we'll have problems. It's about having your back. Of course, you don't want more problems, that it's understandable, but if there's someone that has had their life easy and not even one problem ever, I don't
Hmm.
know that person. I don't think that person even exists. Because even people that was born in a golden crib, as we call it, like rich people that were born already rich, they still
Yeah.
gonna have problems because they have so much that they don't even know what to do with what they have, and they end up taking their
More money
life. So
problems. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's what I see. And
Hmm.
I'm just talking in general, of course. Is what they think it's just America, and they don't think that nothing exists outside of it. Like, and they even call it the United States. They call it America, but America is a whole continent that has divided in three. So I don't know, things like that.
Yeah, I bet you
Yeah.
Americans didn't even know that. But see that's the thing, right? We live in this American dream where, you know, we're socially programmed, through television that we see that this person is living the luxurious life because he has a lot of money or whatever. He's getting the most girls because he has a lot of money. This woman, she's able to get her Brazilian butler finally, right? After years of having a flat pancake booty, you know but because of money, it's like money changes things and it just makes you happy. But by the end of the day, I mean, even if you have money or whatever, if you don't know how to properly use it to your advantage, for financial wealth and success, you're still not going to be happy. Even if you have the newest and latest technologies. Well, guess what? You know, 2 weeks later, now here comes another technology that's coming out. And now you're not satisfied because we're always taught to want more. Or want the best. I gotta read
Right.
this one comment from Melissa, your friend. She says that YouTube is a great way to find moments and material that may actually help. It's great. You have to you have to be intelligent, smart, cultivated to see what happens and no, sorry, what helps and
What
what not.
helps?
Yeah, what entertains, but she says, do not worry. You know, I agree. Like, it
Mhm.
depends on what you're looking for. Um, be
I
easy.
think you have to.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have to be very conscious of the content that you're wearing, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to learn how to separate those things as well, because at some point it becomes toxic.
Mm-hmm.
What you're feeding your brain with. Because I was watching Kevin Samuels, but there was a point that where I was like, I don't agree with this. I don't have to continue watching, because otherwise it will get stay in my head,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna start thinking that way. And I'm like, no, I also have my own criteria. For example, little things like, hey, spoilers on movies, for example. I don't care when people comment about a movie if I never watch it. I'm still gonna have
Mhm.
my own opinion, and I'm still gonna watch the movie and have my own opinion about the movie. I don't care if you.
Mm-hmm.
And some people cry, no, don't spoil me the movie. I respect that. However, but you have to learn how to have your own opinion about things.
Are you a movie
Well,
spoiler?
yeah.
No, I mean, if
Okay.
someone asks, I'm gonna say it. But if they say prefer not to, I will
Mhm.
not. No,
He's a movie spoiler. I could tell.
I'm not. I don't watch TV.
But you can watch movies. You don't have to watch TV. I don't watch TV to myself.
I have to be honest. Even for a first date, I will not pick the movies. Even for a date, that will be like
Hmm.
the last option. I have fallen asleep at the theaters multiple times, to the point that I pay for my ticket. Because there was one time it's like, oh, but I paid for the ticket. Never ever, never again. I would rather pay for my tickets because it's
Pay for the sleep
it's
train.
it's
Yeah.
cold. And I get warm and cozy, and then I'm like, okay, and the lights are off. My brain just like, oh, okay, this is Mimi's time. I'm gonna knock out, and I don't care.
I,
So
I'm guilty of that too. You pay for a
yeah,
movie and then you wake up like, damn, did I pay for a movie or did I just pay to go to sleep? I
and it's the
still had the
best
best
nap that you
sleep.
ever can take. It's the best nap
Exactly.
ever.
You wake up, the movie's over, like damn, okay. That's why when people
Yeah.
ask me about movies, I mean, I can't really. I can say I watched it, but I can't relate to what I have not saw. Right. So, um, but speaking of first dates, okay, let's talk
Uh
about. Don't worry, I'm not putting the sunglasses on yet. You're good. We're almost there, Syeda.
oh.
So, if a man offers to take you out on a coffee date,
Hmm.
will you accept his offer on the first date?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Okay. Hmm. So the reason why I asked this
It's
question
gonna be very
because
cheap for him.
he says it's gonna be very cheap for him.
Americano,
Well,
no sugar.
oh, okay. But you don't get like offended, like, oh, like, okay, he took
What's
me out
hold
like
on?
this.
What's Americano no sugar? I don't know. I've heard of that
Straight
before,
coffee.
but oh, it's straight coffee. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Because some people do the whipped cream and
Uh huh.
the
yeah.
other
Cream,
stuff like iced
sugar. Yeah.
coffee
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
caramel and all stuff. No, I just do coffee and no sugar, because the other stuff have sugar, so I can't do
Yeah.
none of that. Yeah.
So yeah, you just drink it straight black, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, well, coffee is like what's it called? An appetite suppressant, anyways. And they do recommend if you're going to drink
I think you
coffee,
call it a
just drink it
diuretic.
black.
I think I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
I read
It's
it.
a natural fat burner as well. It's a
Yeah.
natural fat burner. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, look, I mean, keep in mind, I don't drink coffee like that, so um, I would rather just drink like nice warm like green tea over coffee. But plus caffeine puts me to sleep anyways. It's like the reverse effect.
But
I think that's when.
the
Mhm.
green tea has caffeine as well. So,
Yeah, so like I'll drink green tea right, at night so I can put myself to sleep.
oh, that
But
happens to me. That happens to me.
okay, they say when
Yeah.
that happens, it's because you have like ADHD, which that's what I have for myself. I don't know about you, but
No, I don't know. What do you mean?
And that's something called attention deficit disorder.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I get distracted easily, so that could
maybe
be.
thanks to social media. I mean, it does like reduces like a person's attention span if you log in and
Hmm.
out of social media a lot. That's what they say. Study shows.
Mm. Well, I don't know. I really only
Yeah.
have one cup of coffee a day in the morning. That's it. Because I
Oh,
usually don't have breakfast. I do fasting for 16 hours, so I need
yeah.
coffee to keep me going. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I get you
but yeah,
though.
yeah. To answer your question, yes, I will take the coffee definitely.
All right, because uh, well, I'm not gonna go into like a whole story, but let's just say that the last time we mentioned coffee dates, it almost became like a civil war about that. Some women prefer not to ever get asked out on a coffee date because if you ask them out on a coffee date, then that shows that you have low value of her, which that's not really the case, but that's just how some will probably feel.
Hmm.
Arshawn has a question too. He says, "Will Saida have a house husband if she made enough money to take care of the family? Could she be the sole breadwinner while he tends the house?"
With one condition:
What's that?
he cannot cheat. He can't cheat. If he cheats, I'm cutting his balls.
Oh shit! Oh okay.
Cause on
Oh
top of
shit!
me doing everything I'm doing, and
Hmm.
then he's gonna stay home to put someone in our bed. That's low.
Yeah, that would be like a foul type of dude. I mean, you having it
Yeah,
all.
I'm gonna be paying for everything, so he goes with someone else and spend it with someone else. Come on, I would do it,
Mm.
but I
So
wouldn't.
okay, so then in other words, as long as you have a stable job or a good career, or maybe he's the breadwinner and you're not working, um, so it's okay for him to cheat.
No,
Mhm.
no.
Well, think about what you
What
just
I'm
said earlier.
saying, no. What I'm saying is that a lot of men that have women that pay for their stuff, that's what they end up doing. Like, they're just taking advantage of the woman. I'm not saying that cheating is okay. That's not what I'm saying.
Hmm.
But most of the time, if a man is, not doing anything productive for his life, all he wants
Hmm.
to do is being productive physically because he's not being productive here. You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah,
brain is not busy doing something, so his body will want to take,
right.
and do
Go out to the
something.
gym and work out and get some muscles in.
Okay,
Is
yeah.
this perception that you have
No,
of
I'm just saying that in general. That's something that came to my head, but yeah.
no, but is this
Mm.
perception that you have of men is this based on just your experiences or
Mm, no,
no? Okay.
no. Mm. The person that I was with, that I was not working, he was not cheating, but he was doing drugs. So he was doing something that he was not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. His brain was not being used for something productive. And when the man, and this is for humans, I think, we as
Hmm.
women, we are natural, we're nurturers. So we want to, you know, that's why if you don't have kids, you have plants, you have dogs, you have animals, and you want to take care of them. Hey, the dog has not ate anything, I want to water my plants and keep them alive. if you don't have any kids, because that's what we do. We nurture. And the man, he by nature, he wants to build stuff. He wants to do things. He wants to feel productive in life. And if he's not doing those things, then I guess, was he a pookie? Not
No.
when I met him.
Mm,
People change, people.
yeah.
You could be with someone 3-4 years and then they change, and it's
Mm.
nothing to the person that you met. You could be with someone married 20 years and then do something that you were not expecting. They change.
When that happens, like, does it make it hard for you to trust in other men going forward, or
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah?
I think that's uh nowadays, how can I put it? So if a man goes out with a younger woman, let's say 19-year-old, it's easier to I don't want to say manipulate her, but it's easier to, show her what you already know, and she will follow you because she doesn't have experience. But the more experience she has, then it's the least she's gonna stop like believing the words of a man. And that's what they have. Men have the audacity, their words, and we listen to that and we follow that and we believe their word. But most of the time, they are just
Mm,
using those words to gain something. But if we don't, and this is a contradiction, because men, like, if we don't trust them, we're insecure. But if we trust them, we're being stupid. So it doesn't matter what we do. You see?
mm.
Where is all this perspective coming from? I'm
I don't
very
even hear
curious.
that from Kevin.
what I what I what I
Yeah.
hear, what I see in the comments. If a woman trusts a man's word, because that's all you're giving me, all what you're saying. Let's say that we're getting to know each other. I have to follow or trust your word. What you say, I have to trust it, right? But if I
Yeah,
go,
but
some
but
people
what?
will feel.
Okay, but
Mhm.
my question is, what does that have to do with your experience with men?
Oh, no, what I'm saying, like, it's hard to trust them, and then it's hard for you to believe stuff that they say. Someone, could say, I don't have no one in my life, and you're like, okay, I'll be like, okay, right? So how long have you
Hmm.
been single? And it's not that I'm not trusting, but I will ask other question, because it's like, some people have said that before and they had someone in their life. Example, my very first boyfriend um lied since day one. uh I was 19 and he was married already, and I did not
Oh.
know that. He even took me to a house that it was not his house. Like, he was not living in the house, so I thought it was his house. Like, he was living a double life. He would spend, every single moment with me. Like, I will never think in a million years that this man was living with someone. And
Mm,
I found out because one day he just disappeared out of nowhere. He's gone, nowhere to be found.
yeah.
And um, we had an issue with the fact that I didn't know his family, and
Mm-hmm.
that was our constant issue. Because I was like, why do I don't know your family? Well, I don't know your family. I knew his friends, but I didn't know his family. But he said, my mother, because he only had two people, really. He was only related to two people, like, very close. And I wasn't believing that. I wasn't trusting that. And that's why I was the nagging and all the like, why. But I was very young. I was very, very young, and I knew that something was wrong. But he finally told me, look, I have a kid, right? And my mother's still not agreeing that I'm not with the mother of this kid. So I had to, according to him, I had to be understanding that there was going to be at some point that's going to happen, but not right now.
Yeah.
And that was manipulation. He was 25, I was 19.
Hmm. Okay. It's a little gap, not that
Mhm.
far, but just enough. And I mean, and it does suck, you know, um, when especially like it's your first relationship, so you already automatically have some type of expectations and hopes of it, going well. Um, yeah, definitely imposter, definitely for sure, K Marion. Um, but then okay, but then the same thing also happens to men as well. And I think this is where the gender war starts to develop. So as you sharing like your part of the story, there's other guys who went through similar situations where, man, they've probably done the best that they could, to please like their first love, open and pour their heart to them, because then again, like, when you hear about the media and you're watching these Disney tale fantasy stories and all that, you're thinking like, okay, all I need to do is just open my heart, just tell her everything about my personal lifestyle, my weaknesses, some strengths, you know, be there to open the door for her, text her every morning, say, "Good morning, baby, I love you." Mwah, mwah, mwah. All this other nice stuff that we always hear. Oh, and don't forget about the roses too. But then it's like there's always like a lack of appreciation. Then later you find out that your girl's messing with the Pookies and Ray Rays. Um, they're messing with the guys like who's doing certain things, or they're just messing with guys who are not really giving the same amount of effort that you're putting the effort into the relationship. Now you're heartbroken, you're confused, and it's like, oh, and you're frozen too. Oh,
No.
okay, I think you're back. but but now you don't know what to do. So now they run into, some of the Mansford guys like Kevin Samuels, or some of the other people who has the intentions to try to help these men. But I also feel like people are also selective of what they also want to hear as well too.
Yes.
So instead of like understanding the female nature and accepting it and not taking it personal, we get into like this red pill rage. And now we want to categorize all women ain't ish. And in order for you to even have a woman, you have to play hard to get. You have to play kind of like the bad boy type of role. You know what I mean? So you're no longer like, good old nice sweet Jimmy as he used to be. You're just Billy
Yes.
Badass.
And you know what? That's something I have noticed as well, because the difference between and I can compare it with someone that's not from here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the difference between local men here, and you will get this comment a lot from someone that's not from here. Oh, what is she doing with him? She's really beautiful with this guy. What? He got that? Things like that, because those type of men, he really put the effort that a lot of men over there are not doing, because they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she's the one that has to come to me. But back in the days, I remember my grandma saying my
Yeah.
grandpa was the one going to her. My grandpa was the one passing by her street, by her house every day. He will look for her. He will approach her. He will just try to, he will walk her,
Mm-hmm.
to whatever she was going until she was saved. Like,
Mm-hmm.
those things that men don't do nowadays. Um, so here, that's something that these guys do, is really put that effort, the extra effort that other guys, just because they're good looking, or they have certain status, don't want to do, just because some females, and that specific females that only look for how they look, obviously, right? And then that even if you have the most beautiful person in the world, there's someone that is better than them. So there's
Mm-hmm.
always there's so much variety in the world that you're still going to look around. And if you're only going by their looks, then it's never going to be satisfied. Your eyesight will never be satisfied because there's so much variety out there. And that's why I think it's important to really get to know the person and who you're with. Like, do you really, what can you tolerate from this person? What you cannot tolerate, and so on.
Courtship to friendship, you know? Um, that's how you really get to know the person's character, and to the point where even if she's not the best looking woman, you know, you just enjoy spending your time with her because something internally that she has to offer that just makes a man feel good on the inside.
Yes.
The other thing I'm gonna say this too. um, most okay. Besides, like, I guess the so-called pretty boys or whatever, the ones that think they're hot shit. Most average guys stop approaching women is due to feminism and the Me Too movement and a lot of things that will pretty much go against men, but doesn't really reward, give them that type of reward. You know, have you ever heard the old saying like a high risk and high reward? Well, that was how like it was like back in the days, like with like our dads like growing up, our grandfathers. See, it was easy for them to approach a woman because women would actually appreciate that type of approach. Yeah, some of them will still try to play harder to get or whatever, but after like a few tries and seeing that confidence in what the men have, and mostly men, a lot of men were in that confident type of state anyway. When you have that confident mindset, you know, eventually you may not get the exact women that you want, but you're gonna get, a couple, um, because of like I said, because of like feminism, and then the way how women treat men when they approach them, and I got, and also men, over time became soft as well too, you know, um, they feel like it's not even worth trying to approach, and now since you have social media, that makes it easy for a man to have these conversations with women. Everyone is always into the text game. Like sometimes I'll go to the
But
gym.
I have to
What?
say,
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to texting, men don't even know how to approach. Like, they don't know how to have a conversation. And don't get me wrong, I'm just saying it so you can hear it from a woman that probably thinks that nobody tells you and the reason why they leave you on scene. Some men will literally come and approach you with really aggressive statements, like, or comments, like,
Mm-hmm.
you talking about how you look physically, you know
Mm-hmm.
like mamacita and stuff like that. I can just put it a word, but sometimes they're more vulgar.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really don't want to read that. I really don't. And some other ones are like very, I will put it in this word, basic, like with the basic questions, like how old are you and things like that. What do you like to do? And when you're interested about someone, especially with social media, but people use it for the wrong purpose, because they could go into their profile and scroll a little bit, and you will find, hey, I someone can go to my profile right now
Mm-hmm.
and do a couple of scrolls, and you will find something that I like. And if you notice that, that will get my attention and be like, oh yeah, you know about that. Oh, he actually took the time to go there and notice this specifically. you know for example,
Mm-hmm.
you did not know that I like the Thundercats, but there is something in my profile that is going to say, wow, she really must liked it, like Thundercats. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of like taking the time to investigate and have something in common and talk about, that is not a regular, like a basic conversation of how old are you and all. Is boring, because literally a lot of people come and ask you these questions. Eventually, you're gonna, every now and then throw one of these basic questions, but not everything has to be like if it was scripted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seems like if it was
Mm-hmm.
scripted, and it's boring. It's boring. We women are taken very often as entertainers, and we're bored to entertain people. It's just boring, and that's why a man that makes us laugh, because he's entertaining us. He got our attention because we're bored. That we're taken as entertainers. That's what we are. People take us as entertainers. You have a woman here, and you have more people
Hmm.
engaged in this. And I'm not saying you, but like I'm saying in
Hmm.
general. Like Kevin Samuels, he put more women out there because it gives him more money. Can you imagine when he was helping men versus when he is, I'm sorry, going towards men, and now that he's
Hmm.
going towards females, because females are entertainers and they're like literally took him like up there, right? So he
Yeah.
said, oh, this is where the money is, you know.
Hmm.
So again, that's just my way of seeing things. Like sometimes that's what we want. We want someone that really shows that it's interested, and then men take it like, oh, she's not doing this for me, but she's replying every single message for you. She's on the phone for 4 hours. You know, she's literally giving you the time, but you're still saying she's not interested because she's not accepting the date tomorrow, or because she doesn't want to have sex with you tomorrow, and that's where you're basing yourself saying that she's not interested. I'm just saying, like, I'm just generalizing things and giving an example. I'm not saying that it's you.
No, 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 no. I know you're not talking about me, but it's like, but I don't hear. Okay, so here's the thing, right? It it doesn't sound accurate to me because like if a woman is engaging to a man like on a phone conversation, especially for 4 hours. I mean, okay, I get it. Maybe they're probably thinking like, okay, well, she had high interest, and now all of a sudden she has low interest, or she has only high interest when it comes to only being like a talking buddy or a text buddy, but then she doesn't want to meet up. Well, well, here's the thing. My thing is this. I mean, I know people get caught up in the moment as far as like talking for hours and all that, especially like when the conversation is going well. But which is why like I would kind of advise to kind of save the conversations when you guys meet in person, because a lot of times by the time you're having this epic conversation with each other, it's like what's the point going on a date? You already know like what he's about. He already know what you're about. I think it would be more better, like, keep it like at a cool little minimum. It's not like playing on games. It's just like, hey, I want to save everything when we meet in person, because the vibe of conversing in person versus like on the phone is way better than that.
I agree. I agree.
But,
Personally, if someone
hmm,
invites me out, I would rather than tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna pick you up at this time. Be ready." And the only question I will
hmm,
ask is like, "What type of, clothes am I supposed to be wearing? How am I gonna know that I'm not overdressed? Like, should I wear something comfortable, like sneakers, or like what?" Because if he takes me to, I don't know, do an outdoor activity and I'm wearing uncomfortable shoes, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. Yes. So the man has to think about it. Hey, I'm gonna pick you up at this time on Friday. Bring sneaker or comfortable, you know, outfit.
well, it's
I'll be
important for
like,
men just to be
okay.
direct.
No, that's confidence. That's the
Yeah.
man being confident that she's going to say yes. Only
All
two
right.
things
Someone.
can happen. Only two things can happen. She's saying yes, she's saying no, which I doubt, or she's going to say, "Where are you taking me?" And he can say confidently, "It's a surprise. Just wear something
Hmm.
comfortable."
I
And
think
if
where
she
where
doesn't
people.
say, let's
Hmm.
say, sorry, let's say this is a
Oh, you're good.
Tuesday, right? And you're
Hmm.
inviting me for Friday, you're gonna have
Hmm.
me thinking 2 days. Where are you taking me? And that's triggering. That's like, what is going on? That's mysterious, and we like that. So instead of asking like, where do you want to go? No,
Mm.
that's just me. I
Okay,
don't care.
okay.
If probably it could be coffee. Just wear something comfortable.
Yeah. And I respect that, because like the way how I would just, converse in this situation, If I'm taking you out on a date, I'm gonna be like, look, you bring two pairs of clothes. One, okay, for something that's comfortable that you could walk and not complain about, and then two, wear something elegant. Now, although
But okay,
you
so
have to
listen
kind
to
of take
what
the
you're saying.
yeah.
What
Hold
you're
on,
saying
I
is
don't.
like
That's why I had to pause on that one, right? Because I had to
you
take it
want
into
me to wear
consideration.
something elegant to go where? Like, am I going to spend on something
Don't
elegant to go
don't
where?
worry about it. I like I said, you wear okay. So you wear something comfortable, okay.
Hmm.
Wear something comfortable for the outdoors. All right.
Hmm.
Being direct on this one, but also I'm not telling you where we're gonna go yet because I like to remain things as a mystery. But don't
Okay.
worry, I'm not gonna let you come like high and dry or I'll tell you what I recommend for you to wear. You know,
Hmm.
get some jeans ready. Get some
Hmm.
boots or whatever. We're gonna be doing some fun stuff. We're gonna get well. Oh, let me not use that word because people take it the wrong way. Just say
Yep.
we won't get dirty. Okay. After that, right? You know, get ready to shower up and put on like your best dress of clothes. You know, we're gonna go out to a nice little place or whatever. You could, I mean, look, the man could say like, go on a hike or whatever, go to a restaurant. It doesn't even matter. As long as he's being direct, he's leading the situation. He's telling you, hey, this is where we're gonna go. But if that's not the place that you're into, then it's like, okay, then I guess it's just whatever. But the problem is with most men, they allow women to switch up on the dates, meaning that okay, oh, I don't like this restaurant. Let's go somewhere else, or I don't feel like doing this. Let's change plans and do something else. And they want to please a woman, so they're like, oh, okay, and that's where they get to a point where do you want to go then? Instead of
That's
just
so
being like,
wrong.
look, if you don't want to go on a date, to this place that I picked out, then that's fine by me. You know, I'll go to a place my own self and have fun.
Hmm.
But not a lot of people are bold and confident enough to say that.
True. True. Like, I have invited someone, like, because he wanted to go out, and I was like, it was during pandemic, and he wanted to go. He wanted to go to eat. I guess he wanted to go out, but nothing was open, and because nothing was open, he was inviting me over to his place, and I was like, no, that's smart. Yeah, right. No, I pass. So I was like, hey, there is a basketball court. We can play basketball. I was like, you don't have to spend anything. You would literally just, play basketball with me. He could bring something if he wanted, like, a snack or something.
Hmm.
But he said no. I was like, all right.
And that was it.
And that was it. He didn't get a date. I was not going to go to
Well,
his place.
I mean, maybe I guess he wasn't really that into him. I mean,
I
it
mean,
probably would have
I don't have to be into him
that.
immediately. If I don't know you, I don't have to.
I mean, look, maybe he probably has something else in mind. I mean, maybe he wanted to
So
Netflix and chill,
he wasn't.
or
He
maybe it
wasn't.
was like a chef and he wanted
I
to cook
don't.
you a nice meal.
Okay, there we
But
go. There we go with the not knowing the person. I don't watch TV, so he wasn't talking to me. He was just inviting me out without getting to know me before even inviting me to something that if he would have said like, "What do you like to do?" Hey, let's cook a recipe or something. That probably would have changed something because it's like, hey, I will buy the groceries and let's cook something together. Is an activity that it doesn't seem like that's something else that you want to do in your place.
maybe he had the
You,
mystery in mind for you. You just didn't give him that chance. And then I
uh,
mean, you did
he
try to
lost the
switch up the.
chance. He lost the chance because I could also say the same thing. He wasn't that into me because he could have taken the opportunity to actually spend time with me without spending anything, and he just didn't. I could also say the same thing.
Okay, but okay, isn't it like kind of like okay? Let's reverse this. If he invite you to play basketball, okay,
I invited him.
I know you invite him, but I'm just, that's what I said. Let's switch it a little bit.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
If he invites you to play basketball, be like, no, I just want to like let let, let me just. Most guys will still take the offer, but let's just say you was like, no, why don't you just come over to my house or whatever. Even though we know you don't watch like TV, we know you don't Netflix and chill, but like I said, it's in reverse. Um, and then he tells you, no, I don't want to come over to your house or whatever. You know, I want to lead the date, and I want to remain mysterious on what else that we had to do. But you kind of like shut down that opportunity because you did say you like the mystery of things, but you can't get the mystery if you're shutting the whole idea down. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
So I think you're confusing the mystery with the comfortability of someone, because in this case, the way he said it and the way you say things matter, the way that you
Okay.
present things matter, the way you approach matters. So he was not talking to me, he was not texting, he's just literally, okay, I just started following you. Do you want to go out?
Oh, so you didn't tell me all that.
Come on, come on, come
So,
on.
so
No.
this is somebody being thirsty. As I jump back in, somebody
Exactly.
being thirsty.
You got it. You got
You
it. It
know,
was Thursday, and then immediately inviting me to his place. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Like
mm,
the way that he presented as an opportunity, like, okay, I just want to have her, here because it's comfortable for the person. No. Mm-mm. Where's
mm,
the extra effort? Where is the extra mile? Where is
Mhm.
the extra pickle? You know? I am
mm.
not saying I'm not interested. I'm literally telling you, hey, let's,
Mhm.
I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to meet you. But why don't we do it in a public place? That's just having a standard. I'm not asking you how tall are you. I'm not asking you things.
Mhm.
That's just my standard for now.
Yeah.
I don't want to
And,
see you in a private place, in a public place.
mhm.
That
And on the
actually makes
record
sense.
too. So, oh well, hold on for a second, Mister Best. And on
Hmm.
the record, I do understand, like as far as like the attention of that part. But I always gotta give people the pushback as well because there's always gonna be those what ifs. But you don't
People
care
over
anyway.
his house. I'm sorry, I had to read that comment.
You can't play scrap at
Hmm.
his house. The
Hmm.
pickles at his house.
I hate pickles.
Hmm.
Oh
Oh shoot!
no. That was a good one.
Some people may
Yeah, that
hate
was a good one.
pineapples. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Mister Best.
I think that it's just. I think you know, but guys have to understand. You have to. Like you can't approach every woman the same. You know what I'm saying? So certain women, you kind of already should know if she's gonna be somebody you can just tell to come right over. So if it's somebody that you actually are going to have to invest your time in, your effort in, and kind of get to know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, and I don't, Saeed, I don't know you at all. I just, had, small interactions with you through Messenger or, Instagram or stuff like that. But from what I know, it doesn't seem like you're the type that's just like, okay, cool, I'll just come over your place and whatever happens, happens. Like, I don't get that vibe from you. I mean, you're an adult, that's your choice, you do whatever you want. But I don't get that vibe from you. So I think that if a man approaches you with that, it must be somebody who hasn't, you know, either talked to you for, a good amount of time, and actually kind of sees where your character is at. But also, I also believe that um it's how can I say? I can also say it's someone who, they may have seen your social media journey, but instead of them really looking in depth of probably about what you share or what you're about, they didn't even do that. They just kind of just were like, okay, he liked what he saw, and he immediately just thought that it was just gonna happen, just straight up. And that's not how things are. Like you have to kind of, you got to work with the audience that you have. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if that female is
Engage the
not,
audience. It's
yeah,
called engage the
yeah,
audience.
if
Yes.
that female is not showing you that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, then it is what it is. She's not showing you that type of attention. There will be a female that will show you what you're looking for. Trust me. You can find that. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
that's easy to get. That's so easy to get,
man,
right?
well, no, 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 not necessarily. Not necessarily. It depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the person. It also depends on the format in which you find them in. It also depends on, their criteria and their standards, right? You named your standards. You name, look, if I'm going to meet somebody, it has to be in a public place, right? That's what you have named
Yes.
as your
Mhm.
standard. So somebody, they may meet somebody at the house, but that doesn't mean something is happening. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean
Exactly.
that what that person perceives is going to happen is going to happen. So I think
Right.
that it all depends. It's all vary. Now the chances are higher for them. You know what I mean? If they come over your house, off top, then yeah, the chances are higher for you to basically, have, intimate, uh intimate connections. But what I mean, even then that's not something that should be completely expected. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Yep.
know, that's why I recommend that all adults, I mean, men and women both, you all say what you're looking for in the beginning. You know what I mean? In the very beginning. You know what I mean? You don't wait. You don't try to guess. You don't think, oh well, I'm gonna ask him to pay for this when I see him. No, you better make sure he gonna pay for that bill now. You know what I mean? You better make sure that you know all what's going on this date before you even go. Because if you don't, you're gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? You can't be like, and for the brothers, you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna see if she's gonna come by the house, but I really don't know. No, you better lock it down before she even, before you even have her come, come through that door. You know what I mean? Or before you even
Right.
ask her on that date, you
Yep.
need to know. Okay, after this date, she's coming by my house. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? So, because we
Right.
already
And like
discussed that.
and since you're talking about discussion and like the conversation that needs to happen before, it would be a totally different story. For example, if this, let's say, this person met me early during the week and then he's inviting me to his place over the weekend, but during the week, hey, we should do something one of these days. He's not specifically saying when and what, and I will say, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. He's not saying something specifically right now, and I'm not being specific either. He wants to find out a little bit about me, and then during that time, personally, I love board games. I know how to play poker, chess, all this stuff. So let's say this person finds out about it, and then he goes to the store and he's like, or he already has like one of these sets of
Mm.
board games. He's like, hey, I have this. Let's kind of like challenging. I bet I can beat you on this. Let's have this dinner at my house and play this. The approach will be so much different that I wouldn't see as thirsty, even though probably the idea could be in the back of his head. He's still a man, right? But the way that he presented to me is not as if that's the only thing that he's looking for. He put it at, okay, you know what? I'm going to invite her. He just used a different hook. That's it. But
Well, I
it
think
made me feel more comfortable.
I think for a man, he
Mhm.
just has to be like, listen, you know, at least from my expertise, I'm not, like I said, I'm not, I'm not giving nobody no game. Don't look at me for no advice. I'm just giving you my perspective for men. Okay, as far as the men, if y'all listening, I will say this. If you want to spend time with that female and you want her to come over your place and you want, to basically connect with her on an intimate level, then you just need to be like, hey, listen, this weekend I have a lot of great things planned. I want to spend a weekend with you. I want you to come over. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about travel. You don't have to worry about anything. I have everything taken care of. But I just want to spend a weekend with you. You know what I'm saying? If you come at her direct like that, it's either gonna be yes or no. At that point, you know what I mean? Then you kind of know where you got to go. If she say yes, good. If she say no, good, because now you can move on. You know what I'm saying? There's no bad answer. You know what I mean? whether she say yes or no, it's a good answer. You know what I mean? Because now you know where you need, what your next move need to be. You know what I mean? She say yes, okay. Let me prepare my place so that when she comes over here, I already got her favorite foods. You know what I mean? You know, my sheets are washed. You know what I mean? The place is clean. I done Lysol the place. You know what I mean? I cleaned my bathroom. A lot of men don't clean their bathroom. Brothers, clean your bathrooms, all right? All the laundry is washed. You know what I'm saying? You know, the shoes are put up. I done swept them off the floor. I done vacuumed all the places that need to be vacuumed, everything. I done dust everything. I done did everything I had to do, right? So now when she walks through that door, now I can have the jazz music playing. I can have the incense burning. The house smells great. It looks great. I don't have no a bunch of clothes thrown all over the couch and all the all the other stuff. Like everything is presentable. So now when she walks through that door, she don't want to leave now. You know what I mean? Now she's like, yeah, I'm glad I came over to
Um,
see him for the weekend. You know what I mean? Because he's really
and
about he's serious. You know, so you got to
yes,
show her that you're serious. You know, and then
and
once you
this
once
is
you once you know she's coming over, just ask follow up questions. Just ask like what she like to eat. Ask what she like to do. You know what I mean? So that way, it's not like she just thinking that this is gonna be wham bam, thank you, ma'am. No, there's actually things that y'all doing as you spend the weekend with her. You know what I'm saying? So and if she says no, all right, cool. You can still get to know her, but now you know that that's not what's gonna happen for you. At least not now. So yeah,
probably
that's how
not
you.
now. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
not now. So you mentioned something that's really important, and is that when you have to ask if she says no, find out the reason why. Why is it a no?
Mm-hmm.
Also ask the no, because you're just taking the no, like you're assuming that she doesn't want to know you or see you or be with you, or she's not interested in you. You're automatically thinking that she's not into you, as you said. But probably her no is because for another reason. For example, nowadays we have to be very aware that a lot of the dates happen through an application, through a dating app. You really don't know who's out there to go to
Mm.
someone's place, so it's better to meet someone in a public place on the first date, because you never know. It's a stranger, it's a total stranger. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's a standard, and the person has really good intentions, has to understand that, okay, that makes sense. That doesn't mean that she doesn't want to see me. She just doesn't want to see me in private, but she's willing to see me in public.
But do you know why men take it personal when a woman rejects? It's because they look at how women will act towards celebrities. Unfortunately, we all get caught up in
But
comparing
this
our
is
lives
your
to the celebrity.
culture. This is your culture. That doesn't We don't have
No,
celebrities in El Salvador, so that's your
but
just
but
your
but in El
culture.
Salvador, there's people that still look up to American celebrities. Like this is worldwide. It's not just like in America, you know. This is all over. Unfortunately, people they get caught up in comparing their lifestyle into a celebrity's lifestyle. That's way out of the tax bracket. Way
Mm-hmm.
out of their what's that? What you call it, Mr. Best? The fame. So I'll just say social status. I can't think right now, but
Oh, I know you're
they're
talking
way
about. I know you're talking about like that person basically, is on another level. Like they're just,
yeah, social proof. Yeah, something like that.
yeah,
Status,
social
status.
social status.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
social status. Thank you. So we're looking at these people that's way out of our league. And we keep seeing that, well, this is how a woman would respond if Drake came over to, her and say, hey, come over to my crib, and start singing to her. She gonna be like, okay, you know. If what's it called?
Idris Elba.
What, Ibris, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I can't pronounce his name. I always have a hard time pronouncing his last name. But anyways, like Morris Chestnut, guys like that don't even have to do much because you have the status, and the money. You could just say, hey, and they will just throw themselves onto them. But we have to realize that we're compared to them, we're average. So average people have certain rules. There's rules to everything. You know, even like the famous people, you're limited to, you know, to the group that you're with. You know what I mean? To like your own status and bubble. Like, you know, Drake could get a whole bunch of average women, you know, flocking over him, but he probably can't pull a Rihanna again. He can't pull, you know, someone that is like above his social status.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why like guys they take it too personal, especially when you go to YouTube and you hear all these people
But
doing these terrible comparisons.
right now you're saying you're putting the blame on the woman that said no, assuming that and said and try
I
to
didn't blame the
justify.
women. I'm talking
No,
about the
no, no.
men.
And
Mm-hmm.
right. You
Mm-hmm.
justifying the reason why they do it is because
Not
of
even
these
justifying.
others that, like, the way I see it is like that's their
Mm-hmm.
problem, you know? Like if they are taking it personal, as you said, that's their problem. They're taking it personal. They should have asked the reason why she doesn't want to go out with him and have an actual, you know, a date or find out the reason. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, my point is that this is where guys go wrong when they compare themselves to these celebrities. You
Mhm.
know, or when you same thing if a woman compare herself to an Instagram model, like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta get the tummy tuck, oh, I gotta put on this makeup and all that. Even if guys are telling you, look, you're beautiful the way you are without the makeup, you know what I mean? But you're not gonna listen to them because your comparator is who you really look up to and admire. Same thing for a guy. This guy probably, man, I wish I had like, you know, um, who else? I wish I had so and so's money or so and so's status, but I
Mhm.
want to get there. So, and I'm seeing how these people treat him. So I need to kind of think and kind of move and operate like how they do. In other words, and that's why I feel like relationships keep failing because we're too focused on pocket watching other people as far as focus on like redefining ourselves and bettering ourselves as people.
Mhm.
But I just want to make sure you still have enough time.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So
How many more questions do you have?
I promise I won't ask you like, you know, like over 21 questions, okay?
Oh my goodness.
It like the main questions really is let me see. One, two, three. Three more of the main questions. All the other
Okay.
questions I was just asking was just based off like, you know, our conversation. But all right, so the number four question is: should women be submissive to men?
Mhm. Yeah. Can you define submissive?
Well, first, what is
I
your
know what it
definition of?
is.
Okay,
No, I know what it is.
okay, I want to know
You're
what's your
asking me
definition.
the question. You're asking me the question, and
Hmm.
I want you to give me your definition of submission because there's a big difference between being submissive and stupid.
There's a big difference between being submissive and stupid.
Yes.
Well, I want to know first before I give you my definition because, you know,
Mhm.
I feel like if I give you my definition, I'm not going to say that, you know, you'll be agreeable or you may alter it, but I have to know, like, okay, when you hear the word submissive or submission, what comes to your mind first? I'll give you my definition after that.
Mhm. So, a synonym that I could relate to it's listening. Listening. That's the first thing that comes to my head. Or I don't want to say obedience because it's not like you're not a child, you know, but it's more like guidance. And
Mm.
and the reason why I ask you
Mm-hmm.
what's your definition is because again, I was raised by a man, just him,
Okay.
and I am very used to listening to him and following him, his guidance, his words, his advices, you know. And sometimes I'm I might be stubborn, and he still will come and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So, and then he would just. I'm not gonna lie, I've been very spoiled by my dad. I've been daddy's girl, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's been moments where, a little example, I want him to put something on the wall, right? Like the curtains. There was a construction going on in the house for not too long ago, and I've been wanting to have the curtains done, and he's like, he started doing other stuff, and yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it. And then I was just tired of waiting, and he saw me grabbing the drill, because he also taught me how to use these tools.
Yeah.
And he saw me with the drill and all the tools, and he heard it, and he immediately came down, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I need to have the curtains done, and I've been asking you like for 4 weeks already." And he's like, "Ush, just give me a moment, right?" But I'm not gonna start like giving him a hard time when I know that he knows, that
Yeah.
I asked him for 4 weeks already, and he's my dad. So
Mm-hmm.
he went and whatever, finished whatever he was doing, and then he came down, and then he put it together. Little things like
Yeah.
that I've been asking him. I've been patient with him. I've listened to him to say, "No, not yet. We're gonna get it done
Mm-hmm.
soon." But at some point, I'm like, I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure this time, because he's not listening. And I've been calm for a month or so.
Yeah.
So I was following his words. Sometimes my dad also will say, "Oh, I'm probably saying something," and he's like, "You know what, I can't listen to this right now," and he just go, because it didn't make sense. Probably it was just an argument or whatever, or I was
Mm-hmm.
bringing something up to him that he doesn't have the time for it right now. And you know what, he'd be like, "That's enough for now," and then he will go. I don't take it personal, and I don't feel bad, and I'm not gonna go like, "Oh, why are you treating me like that?" I'm just used to it already. Eventually, he's
Mm-hmm.
just gonna, give the thought of whatever we were talking about, and he will come to me and say, "Okay, yeah, this and that. Now we can talk about it." So
Yeah.
those little things, that it's kind of like he's leading. You're letting him lead, but you're not stupid at the same time. It's not
Yeah.
like you're not aware of what's going on. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, there is a big difference
Mm-hmm.
of like just putting your head down and like, yes, amen to whatever you say. Yes, slap me, please. That's not submission.
No, that's just
You know,
abuse. You
that's what I'm
know.
saying. So people
So
tend to confuse uh, the ways of or the meaning of words.
well, they look at submission as if like we're trying to, you know, compartmentalize it like into slavery. That's not even like the case. We don't
It's
even
not.
want you to be our slave.
So that's another synonym that people think that it's
Mm-hmm.
you being someone's slave, and it's not really. I remember
Yeah.
my grandma one time. My grandpa was very stubborn, so I get the stubbornness from him. He was very, very stubborn, and he was old, and he was doing, he would do a lot of planting. Like, he will have a lot of plants in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff around, and they told him, stop doing that, because you're just he was just digging holes in the backyard, or front yard of the house. And then my dad said, "Stop doing that." He told my grandpa, because of whatever reason. And then my grandma said, "Please," the way that she used to be very kind and loving to talk to him. So she's like, "You should stop doing this, because your son already told you the reason why." And la 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 la. So she was very calm.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, he's like, "Oh no, you guys don't know nothing, whatever." And then exactly what they say, the reason why he should stop doing
Mm-hmm.
it happened. And guess what? He came to my grandma that day, and he said, um, "My love," or whatever, "you were right. I should have listened to you," he said. And you know what? I remember that moment. I still carry here and here,
Yeah.
because it was so, so beautiful, the way that he came to her and be like, "You were right. And I should have listened to you." And then she didn't have to feel like, "Yeah, I told you." No, she was like, "Yeah, like, it's okay. Don't worry."
Yeah.
It's kind of like you learn your lesson from making a mistake, but she
Yeah.
will not be like trying to put her ego up just because he made a mistake. No, he just let him lead, and that's what he wanted to do. Okay, you want to do it, go ahead, do it. If it's a mistake, then you're going to learn from your mistake, and that's it, you know,
And
things like that.
sometimes we learn things like the hard way, trial and error. But just because you make a mistake doesn't mean that it's like the end all be all. You just
Yep.
learn from your mistakes, and then you just continue to be better. But to answer the question, right, about my definition of being submissive, it is basic cooperation.
Yep.
That's all. Like, I'm not. I know, like, you probably will be capable of doing anything that you put your heart into it and your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to ask you to just do something that's just simple, like, babe, like, hey, look, can you go give me the remote control, or can you just make me something to eat? I had a long day. You know, now, fortunately for me, I don't have those problems. You know, but it's baffling when I hear guys they complain about it and they say that well they have these problems at home or they can't get their significant others to do like the simplest things.
But
She'll
you
be
know
like,
what the
"Go get
thing is?
yourself." Mm-hmm.
the
What is
the
it?
thing is that you also say something right now that kind of like what I cannot imagine someone asking me for, can you go make me something to eat, because there will always something already prepared to the point that you wouldn't have to ask for it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
every noontime my dad comes to the house, and at 11:55, 12, I am texting my dad, come to eat. Sometimes when I don't text him because I'm in a meeting or something, the food is ready, okay? The food is on
Mm-hmm.
the stove, being like about to be ready. But if it's 12 and if I haven't texted him like come to eat, he will ask me, is there food in the house? And then, for some reason I was just too busy that I didn't say, come to eat. But I'm like, yes. But he knows that I've been busy. He just have to come. He rather comes home to eat the food that I
Mm-hmm.
prepared than stay out and buy the food. So I don't see myself someone asking me prepare me something to eat when it's already, kind of like,
Oh no, I'm not talking
for
like
me
dinner.
it's
I'm just like
automatic.
maybe, yeah. I'm just talking about like in general, like like maybe like a snack or something. I mean, after like dinner or something like that.
Hmm.
Like
Oh no,
you
he does
like
that. He
yeah.
does that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he's like,
Yeah.
okay, like by 3 p.m. or 4, he's like asking for coffee. Can you make me a coffee? Or
Yeah.
sometimes he comes to the kitchen. I just look at him and I already know what he wants, and I'm like, you want coffee? And he's like, yes, please. And I just have to look at him like what he like, yeah, because I know
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand your point. It's more like collaboration, but
Yeah.
when the word collaboration can be done from both parties as well,
Yeah, of course. Cooperation.
just as
Yeah.
cooperation, just as much as
Hmm.
you want me to prepare something and then I ask you to put the toilet seat down.
Yeah.
That's cooperation, like, hey, put the
Hmm.
dirty cloth in the basket and don't leave it there. That's just cooperation as well. So
I will give you an
it comes
example.
from both
Yeah.
sides.
So I'll give you a personal example today. Okay. Now you can't see what's on the screen like from the background, but before we did the live, my wife already prepared like chow mein, chicken, a little drink. I probably had like a few sips of the apple juice or whatever, but I haven't even touched the food yet, right? But you know, because my wife knows certain things that I like, it's already prepared. Now we had one of our batteries like from our automatic like lock on our door, um, needed changing. Had to go get the tools to open it up. She gave me asked him a simple question like, well, when you come home, you know, can you change the battery? And I'm like, yeah, you know. I mean, it's corrupt. No matter what, it's like you still kind of submit, but it's not like a submit where it's like yes, master or so. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying.
Yep.
All right.
Because at the end of the day we also want to, just as much as you want to feel appreciated, we also
Mm-hmm.
want to feel appreciated for the type of effort that we put into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's self-rewarding when he says, "Oh, this food is good," and it's just I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it. I live with my dad, but he has his wife. I just love cooking for him, and
That's cool.
and it's just self-rewarding that when he compliments my food and see him eat, and like he actually proactively wants to come home to eat. He rather come home than eat outside, you know. So I don't know.
That's
It's
yeah.
just it's if I feel the appreciation from his side, and that's it motivates
Mm.
me like to keep on doing it. Hmm.
I can see that. Mm. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get to the number five question. And yeah, like I think that's the best feeling of any woman when she cooks for her man or her, your father, and you just see like the joy of like appreciating like what you made for him.
Hmm.
So number five, okay, what is some advice you would give to men about women, and or vice versa? Like what advice would you give to women about men?
Wow, that's complicated because that's based on perspective. Of course, a lot of people will not agree with me, and some probably will. But I think it's just getting to know the person before,
Mm-hmm.
and don't fall for expectations. Like how can I put it? Some of us, and I will include myself, we have fallen into this, like we meet someone and we are already thinking that person is the one, and we're just
Mm-hmm.
avoiding seeing things that we actually don't like. We see those signs, we see
Red
them.
flags, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to say red flags because right now it's so like cliche. But we see the signs and we don't want to see it. We override those things just because we like the person physically so much, and we're attracting. We even bring that, oh, there is connection between us, but is it really? Is it really a connection there? Um, things like that, and then we fall for what the potential of the person. I always say
Mm-hmm.
we tend to fall for potential instead of looking at the person who they really are, because the
Yeah.
potential is something that we create in our head. I see the potential in
Mm-hmm.
you. I see the potential that you can become this. I see the potential that you can be this. But you know are you really that, or the potential is something that I created in my head? And then sometimes we have too high expectations on something or on someone. And what are those expectations that you have? It, every time I start my class, I ask them, what do you know about whatever I'm teaching, right? Because it might be a company. Let's say, what do you know about this company?
Mm-hmm.
And some people already took the time to go and investigate a little bit. Some people, the curiosity took them to the website. And some people actually didn't care to look for anything. They just show up, and whatever comes in, I'm going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people went to the website, and they dig into everything, that now they have a lot of information. I'm like, okay, that's great, that you're being proactive going over the website, but we're not going to concentrate on that. We're just going to talk about this specifically thing right here. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people really need to leave those expectations, because when you have high expectations and you go further, yes, you have more information, but then you kind of like seeing more instead of concentrated, at the moment, looking at every single detail at the moment of what's being presented to you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay. No, I definitely get that part. It's like how should I put this? We have so many. I want to say unrealistic. Well, some of them are unrealistic, but we have so many hidden expectations, and the expectations we have this person when they don't meet the expectation, we
It's
either
disappointing. It's disappointing.
get disappointed or we try to mold them.
Yep. Right. And we cannot do that. For example, if I tell you
Mhm.
what my expectations are from the get-go, hey, I want a family, I want marriage, I want another kid. Hey, if you already know from start that's what I want, then you could see it already that, hey, you know what, why would I even bother with this person? That's what you want, and you're being real about it. So asking
Hmm.
what the expectations for that the person have, it is okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's going to be disappointing.
But see, and I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. It just sucks because the majority don't have that mindset. They don't have that way of thinking. I don't know why. I guess they feel like we're supposed to know these things. You know, it's like we're supposed to, you know, pull out the little X-ray glasses and then read your brain, and you know, and your brain's supposed to just tell us like what you're thinking right now. And so I think we people fall too much into that.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to ask you this last question. Um, I was going to ask you this one. Like what is one of the several things you would like to know about men? But I feel like that's not that much important. I think the important question is, what is the origin of pineapples?
Where is the origin from? So we were doing a reaction video with AR where I don't know the name of the show, the YouTube channel, but the girl, they are coming on screen, and the girls are talking, kind of giving the chance to talk to. I think the girls can see the guys in the back, and one by one start coming on screen, and then she says pineapple to get
Mm-hmm.
him out of screen, and it was, we were looking at we were doing the reaction video, and I was like, what? She didn't even let him talk, she immediately said pineapple. And then
Oh.
so AR said something, something, because he's always like
Oh.
getting on my nerves. And I said, you know
Yeah.
what, pineapples to you. So I was saying pineapples to him, and that's where it came from, I think. And then Apex and Rashawn were there, and then I kind of did my hair like this, and I was like pineapple hair. So that's why I am pineapples.
Wow. Okay. So now it all makes sense. Now we know the truth of pineapples. Well, the nickname that
Yeah.
is. And you know what? And I actually remember the show that you're talking about. Of course, I haven't watched the AR show about that part, but
Mm.
um, is this woman who was, I guess, some type of dating app or service or whatever that
Something
they
like
was
that.
doing,
Yes.
and then it's like because it looked like it was like on FaceTime or something, and it was two ladies, and it was like always like a group of guys, right? Like one by one, and they'll try to shoot their shot, and whatever. I'm look, you could probably be like the most handsome guy, but you probably will have like a small little pimple or whatever, or maybe your mustache is a little crooked, and then she'll be like, okay, pineapples, like a way of just saying like pass, you know. So that's what it kind of sounds like, something similar to that show, if not it.
I'm not quite sure what the name is. Roshan said, I only have one question. Why she come to knowledge and relationships and never subscribe to critically drinking? I
I have a
didn't even know
question.
that
Why
was his
she?
channel. I didn't even know he had that channel, to be honest.
Yeah, Rashawn, I was going to ask, like, why don't you even know like who you are, man? Ain't that messed up? I got you, bro.
I didn't know. I didn't know. He has not invited me to it. I follow him, but I didn't know he had a channel because he always says that he's
Oh,
there and like different
uh-huh.
channels. So
Oh man, she put she's a hater. Man, she
no,
putting the blame on you, Arshawn. She's saying like it's your fault. She's saying you as the man because you failed, Arshawn, to approach her like
let
a
me see.
real man. Is why she did
No,
not subscribe to your channel.
let me see. Rashawn.
Yeah,
Oh
let's
yes,
see. I'll
he
put up
does.
quickly drinking for you
No,
for
no, no.
you.
You know what? I
Oh.
went to his profile right now, and he does
Mm-hmm.
have the YouTube channel there. But I am pretty sure that I went over every single person, and that I'm following from AR,
Uh-huh.
and I follow their YouTube channel, but I didn't see his. So I am going to subscribe now.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean, you just got a new
Hold on,
subscriber.
you got to definitely subscribe to my channel too as well, Intellectual Soapbox, if you haven't already. For
Can
everybody
you
out there,
imagine?
you know.
Let me let me pull up real
I
quick.
am subscribed. I am subscribed. What?
Oh, but you
Look,
didn't hit the notification bell. You got to hit the notification bell to all.
it says subscribed.
I know, but okay.
There's a bell on the
So,
side that you click as
mhm.
well, and then you hit
But he's
all.
questioning why I'm not subscribed. And I am. That's his question. I am subscribed.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
she did
You
she
know,
did that
well,
for
Sean,
us, right?
I can't help you on that one. Like, yeah, that's on you, bro.
Hmm.
But now you can answer. Make sure to hit the notification bell, click it, and then go to all.
Okay. Got it.
Same thing for knowledge and relationships and the intellectual soapbox once you subscribe to this channel. But let
Exactly.
me go ahead and pull that up real quick so I could shoot a link. Give me about a second. I got you, Mr. Best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right.
It's a contradiction on him, he said.
All right. Hold on. All right. Here
What
it
is the
is.
other question?
Oh, you ready for more? Hold on. She wins again. It's a contradiction on me. Okay, hold on for a second. Okay, so Syeda in the private chat. This is the intellectual soapbox, and I will. Hold on. Let me put on the public too. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me about a quick second.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody. Go ahead and subscribe to. Oh, why did it not appear? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Go ahead and subscribe to Best in the World's channel, the Intellectual Soapbox. So the link is in the chat. So feel free to subscribe and make sure you
Exactly.
hit the notification bell as well too. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh,
It says that
you
I'm
ready
already
for?
subscribed.
Okay, that's what's up. Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. I don't know. I don't want to hold up too much of your time, Syeda, because I know like we were supposed to like do it for like at least like an hour and a half, and maybe the most would be
Yeah.
2 hours. It's already 2:18, but you know, I mean, it's up to you. If you're in the mood, but if you gotta go, we definitely respect your time.
No, I actually have to go.
Oh, good. All right, no problem. But thank you for allowing us to give you like have a conversation with you. I hate the word interview. And yeah, it was good like just chopping it up. I'm gonna
Oh,
highlight you real quick. So I mean, if you want to feel free to shout out people, shout out social media, feel free to do
thank
so.
you. Thank you, everybody, for supporting me here. Rashawn, Apex, they're always there, so loyal. And thank you, Knowledge and Relationship. They are, I mean, M3 is right. M3. I'm sorry
Yeah.
for having me here and inviting me, and Mr. Best in the World as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time, and I'll be welcome if you will be welcome more likely if I ever do or decide to go with my own channel, which I think I'm not quite sure about it, but maybe
That's what they all
possibly.
say till they get confirmed.
I don't know what I will be doing.
I have a
Maybe.
couple ideas though, but we could save that for like a private conversation.
Cool. So I just wanted to say, like I've seen a lot of um, comments that females are not willing to share what they earn. So if the problem for men is not okay, men don't have the problem of how much the woman makes, and that's understandable and it's okay as well. But I also hear that women don't want to, put some of what the amount that they make towards the house, and I think that's very selfish. Like, women also need to think about, that it requires two to maintain a household, and at the end of the day, if it's a team, it's a team effort, it's a teamwork. The lifestyle that you are having is for both. It's for your family, not just for her. It's a lifestyle for your family. And if both are providing, if both are working, then the lifestyle will be better for your entire household. Probably traveling for vacation, or having, better education for your kids, or, I don't know, extracurricular activities for your kids and stuff like that. So I think it's more like about thinking this is teamwork, this is team effort, and to accomplish something together and not just separately. So people need to start thinking more like this is a we and not just me or you.
Yes,
Hmm.
definitely for sure. And
Yeah.
like I said, relationships about team effort, and that part I do agree. Mr.
Hmm.
Best, you have anything else you want to say before we close out?
Thank you everybody for being a part of Knowledge Driven Relationship Experience. Thank you for everybody in the comments for joining and definitely supporting Saida. Supporting our stream as well. We appreciate you all.
Mm-hmm.
And Saida, just thank you, family, for just joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you for always being willing to be a part of our experience whenever you can. And it's funny because sometimes Saida will just send me a a message like, "Are you guys streaming today? Is there a stream going on? Who's streaming?" And I definitely appreciate that. So um, continue to do what you're doing, Saida. We definitely appreciate you in this, in the social media space. And also, I
Thank you.
do I do enjoy your Instagram videos. Sometimes it takes me some time to get to some of them, just because I'm busy, or I'm just like in the midst of like trying to do some streaming stuff. But they are entertaining and they do provide thought provoking conversation. So I think
Yes.
maybe that's what you should do. You should just do thought provoking conversation based on certain
Yeah.
aspects of relationships. But yes, I digress. Thank you for being a part of our experience. Thank you for allowing us to have a live talk interview with you. And then three, as always, man, take it away. You know what we do. You know what I'm saying? And yes, stay tuned, y'all. We have a week full of just content. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say nothing else. We got another interview
Mm-hmm.
coming up. I'm not gonna say who, but just stay tuned, okay? Stay tuned, and we're gonna keep you entertained, and we're gonna keep you thinking about some stuff. All right, y'all. Have a good evening.
Good.
All
Thank
right, for
you. Thank you
sure.
guys for having me.
No
Bye.
problem. No problem. All right, thank you everybody for tuning into Knowledge and Relationships. Stay tuned for other content to come. We're gonna be working for a full week, especially we having our ladies' night stream and more interviews to come. So just hit the notification bell to all, and then you'll get notified when we go live. So with that being said, we are out, everyone. Take care. Peace out. And now let me go ahead and find the intro. I mean the outro, and we are done. Later, everyone.